Walking through a brick wall. That was one of the tricks that Houdini actually did on stage. They would erect a brick wall, look like a brick wall, you could see underneath it, and Houdini would be on one side. They would have a little tent that Houdini would walk into. Then they would bring a tent to the other side of the wall, and they would open up the first tent. He was gone and disappeared, and then he would walk out from the other side of the brick wall through the other tent. And so this is how the kids are going to recreate that illusion of Houdini's, called Houdini Walks Through a Brick Wall. And what you have to do is, with the material that you have, is trim off the edge, because that's an extra piece. It kind of gives the instructions also. It shows how it works, but you trim off carefully on the dotted line, trying to leave just a little bit of the white edge. Okay, and then if you look on the little strip, it'll show you the cutting pattern that you need to do for this piece of card. And it goes, I darkened it here so you could see it a little easier, but you go up one on the first square, over one, up one, and over two, up one, over one, up one. So the zigzag pattern goes up one, over two, up one, over one, up one. All right, so that's what you have to do to make this thing work. And I like to trim it when you cut it. You can cut it with the scissors. Get a good pair of scissors. Cut a little bit past the first line, so that you can then do a good right angle on the next cut. Go a little past, come back over, do a good right angle. Now you have to do this. You can't let the kids do this because they will not get a good cut. It also takes a little bit more time in the class too. All right, so go around to each child, cutting their cardstock. Then, once you're finished, you show them how Houdini could walk through a brick wall. So there's the brick wall. You say, but you see on the other side, now you can do this in the air, like I do it, or you can actually do it on the ground. It's easier if you just do it on the ground and have all the kids come around and watch over your shoulder, say. And that's the way they should do it. Do it on the ground. But you say, okay, here's Houdini's walking through a brick wall, but you see on the other side that something looks different. And that is that it looks like, and you hold it where the paint splotches are. That's the corners that you hold. So that's why I put those there. You give it one twist, the other twist, put it back together, and now there's a hole sitting right in the center of the card. Okay, I have a little larger one here, so you can see. Maybe you can see a little bit easier in the video. Okay, you start off here. Say Houdini walks through a brick wall, and you flip the corners like this, and you now have a hole where it says Houdini was here, escape this way through the hole. And what happens is that on the other side, then it actually looks improper. The writing's all messed up now because that's not correct. But when you flip it back, the writing writes itself, and you've got it reading correctly again. Now the secret is that you have to change these two edges. Okay, and on the ground it's a little bit easier. Doing it one at a time. You take this edge and you move it to that side, and you take this edge and you move it to the bottom, and it works correctly. Most people try to do this. They try to flip it this way, or like they try to flip it like this. They say go this way, and go this way, and it doesn't work because you haven't switched the edges correctly. Okay. You have to make them go. The pivot point is right here. Right here. Okay. Because it's actually easier on the ground. So you just want to do it on the ground. Practice yourself. Get practice it. The kids can do it. They all can learn how to do this. But you have to learn how to do it first. Right? Just simple. Changing this side for this side. And this side for the bottom. There. And you get yourself a hole in the middle. All right? That's what the writing is for, really. If you notice, excuse me, on the back of the card, if you have it the way that it's supposed to be correctly for the writing on this side, the writing is incorrect on the back. That's how it comes printed. That's the whole kind of extra little trick that fools the eyes.